Okay, we are live. It is Friday. It is 8 o'clock. That means it is time to do what we do every single Friday, which is a little bit of sauce talk here at the American Curmudgeon Hot Sauce channel. Let's see if everything's working. And I tested it. It looks great. It sounds great. Let's do this. Um, We got so much to talk about. This is going to be an action-packed episode, at least 2 hours. So settle in. I got a little bit of White Claw, as Jared Peterson, not Jordan Peterson, Jared Taylor, White Claw, and also I have some summer shandy, and I have some vodka from a little place you might have heard of called Costco. But we've got a lot to talk about, a lot to go over, a lot to cover, and as you can see, I literally have show prep and show notes. So, brand new American Curmudgeon hot sauce research and development on some new hot sauce ideas. My journey to making my company 100% legal and legit in time for this year's farmers market season. My frustrating experience going back to school after all these years to get my acidified food certificate. And today's going to be the very first garden report for 2025, starting my peppers indoors. And this week's huge metal UCD decentralization report, I've got a humongous haul to show you. And I'm going to be talking about my favorite shows, my re-energized love for certain shows from the 80s, and why Al Bundy is a true American curmudgeon. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling spry. So let's get it started. Let's get into some sauce talk.
Sauce talk, hey!
Okay. All right. First, let me hit a little bit of my White Claw. If you're drinking tonight, tell me what you're drinking. Write about it in the comments. Write about it in the chat, but be a part of what we're doing. I don't care, but if you're not drinking, then pretend that you're drinking, or smoke a little pot, do a little something. Uh I'm smoking whiskey, drinking cocaine. Got this feeling, gonna drive that girl insane. Insanity. That's a little guy named Pat Travers. I never bought any of his records, but man, I remember that song from about 1 billion years ago. Okay, first thing we're going to talk about, and that I've been doing, is I call it R&D, research and development, here at the American Curmudgeon HQ. And what I mean by that is trying out different things. Now, I'm not afraid to show you where I'm getting some of my ideas, but I think I'm even going to kind of give up on this Bible right here, which I haven't ripped off too much or really anything from this book, but it given me a lot of ideas over the years. This is simply called hot sauce. Techniques for making signature hot sauces with 32 recipes to get you started. And I believe this came out in 2012. Let me see. No. Not gonna cook sauce here over here. I am literally blind. This all looks like gibberish. Oh, 2012. Okay. So it's got my favorite things is pictures. Okay. And as you can see on the front, some of the consistency of some of these hot sauces is what I'm going for. Very thick. Some are like Caribbean, like stuff that you would put on jerk chicken. So what I have, and I know I've showed you this many, many times, and this is probably one of the first times I've told you not to go to my website because I'm not selling them from my website right now. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a sale to get rid of my current stash, my current inventory, because I have to get all new labels, and I'm going to tell you that in a second. So, as you know, of course, it is.
Fuck you, worm.
That's right. My flagship sauce is of course, American Curmudgeon. Fuck you, worm sauce, complete with tack right there from the movie Stone Age. This is jalapeno lime tequila. It sold really well when I first put it out. This is very easy to make. I've got it down to a science. And my next one is Golden Fire, which is pineapple mango habanero. As you can see, the color, the texture, the consistency. This is straight up tangy and then just wham hits you right between the nuggets. And remember about a year ago and before that, we had a big sriracha drought around here. Well, I finally came up with my very own sriracha sauce. This one's called the American Curmudgeon hot sauce. Okay. And look at that. Red jalapenos. Each one of these has less than 8 ingredients, which makes them all organically, locally, and they're pretty much health food. I mean, if you've got anything that ails you, fuck you worm sauce is going to absolutely clear you up and get you going for the next day. Now, as much as I love these sauces and as much as I will be selling them at farmers markets and putting them in stores this summer, more on that in a few minutes, there's some other flavors that I've been wanting to kind of play around with. And right off the rip, I did a sort of peach habanero, which is it's got a couple of things. It's got some carrot in there, and the problem with this is the flavor is amazing. The consistency leaves a little bit to be desired. You see how that doesn't move? You see how that is pretty much paper mache, flavorful paper mache. I'll give you that, but it will put it this way. You got any grouting? You got any, you want to waterproof your basement? You want to put this on the side of your house? You can slap it on a taco and you can put it in the creases of the cracks in your driveway and it'll keep all the moisture out. Is that what I want in a sauce? Not particularly, but I do like the end result in terms of the color, but it's a little bit too close to my Golden Fire and I'm already going down that route. So I've got probably like this one, for instance. Look at that. Look at that. That ain't moving, dude. That is not moving. So, you're probably like, dude, that's a failure. No, it's not a failure. As I said, the flavor is amazing. The consistency does not work, especially since there's a stopper top in the underneath the cap, which there is no reason to have a stopper top. So either if I ever try to attempt this in the future, I'm going to use a lot less of the peaches and a lot less of the habaneros and probably a little bit more vinegar. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 bottles of that. And then I have, this is a little bit better. This is Scotch bonnets and carrot, a little bit of honey, apple cider vinegar. It's even better tasting than the peach habanero because of Scotch bonnets. This one is powerful, and I love the little flecks of pepper in there. I love the consistency, or at least the color. The consistency is this. Yeah, we're not moving. It's not moving again. Okay. It's kind of unacceptable. Again, I love the flavors of both of my first attempts at the research and development with the American Curmudgeon new flavors, but I'm going to have to use a lot less of the peppers or something like that. It doesn't move. It's not cool. So this is where I'm at right now. Now, both of those recipes came from, in fact, I think the last one I just showed you is, let's see. Ah, fuck, man. Let's see. Pineapple curry. She simmers. God damn it. Whatever. I can't find it right now, but I decided to ditch the whole book and to go in rogue. That's right. Going with no bag. full on raw dogging it. Now, I'm trying to also kind of get away from, like, for instance, I let my brother taste those. He liked it. Particularly, this one's a more Caribbean one. When people say that, do they say this is more Caribbean or they say Caribbean? Which one is the proper way to say it? I like to think of myself as a bit of a English Nazi, spelling Nazi, grammar Nazi, whatever they call it on Facebook. I'm one of them. Is it Caribbean or Caribbean? Do tell. My brother pointed it out that the second one that I showed you, which is the Scotch bonnet one, that if you added regular yellow mustard, it changes the whole flavor profile and makes it even better. I tasted it over there. It is good. Um, what was it? It wasn't pineapple. Was it mango? Oh, I know what it was. Yeah, it was Scotch bonnet and mango. That's right. So Scotch bonnet and mango, and it was supposed to have a ripe mango, which would have probably made it a little bit more. I mean, maybe the fact that the mango wasn't ripe is why this doesn't move, or maybe there's just too much mango. Mango. But the fact of the matter is, my brother showed me a different route to take, and he goes, "Have you thought about doing like a spicy mustard?" Yes, I will. In fact, I got a buddy who does some spicy mustard, and I might try to make a deal with him to get the recipe. But the fact of the matter is, he pointed it out. He goes, maybe you should kind of calm down on the fruity flavor. It's a little bit, and I'm like, dude, I'm already 2 steps ahead of you. So this third one, which I turned out very, very happy with it, moves like a sauce. It is a sauce. Look how perfectly pourable that is. Doesn't have a top like a stopper top, and it is more of a savory direction. So I did tomatoes, boiled some tomatoes, peeled them, of course, first. And then I got one Scotch bonnet. It was done with, that's another thing. I'm going to start doing a lot smaller of batches to do these testings because you end up with like a lot of bottles of this. Now, I could be putting them in jars, sure, but just in case I came up with a winner and I wanted to like give them out to people, I like to put them in the 5-ounce bottles. And plus, since this is the bottles that I sell in for American Curmudgeon hot sauce, I want to be able to fill the bottles and get in practice because you have to get your process down before you get a hold of the FDA, which I will be covering in the next few minutes. So, um, I'm gonna do a lot smaller batches when I do the hot sauce because I don't want 5 bottles of something. I don't. I want like one bottle so I can taste it, see how it refrigerates. You want to test the pH after it's been boiling because I boil my sauces, and it's all about the pH levels. And your pH has to be below 4.6 in order for you to sell it to the public and for it to be shelf stable. These are things I've found out. Okay. It's a lot to learn in the hot sauce game. And as I will tell you more, you're going to find out that everybody can make hot sauce. Not everybody can sell hot sauce, and not everybody can have a hot sauce company. And they make it to where they weed out the weak with like rules, fees, legal shit. Yeah, they make it kind of tough for you. Um, and I'm going to tell you, I'm about a grand in my latest sort of speed bump on my way to make it American Curmudgeon Hot Sauce Company, 100% legal. I'm running into it's nothing I can't handle. I'm just saying, you run into some speed bumps. So this latest one is again in a non-fruity, more savory direction with tomatoes, one jalapeno, one Scotch bonnet, some local honey, carrot. So the carrot and the honey is in place of putting any sugar, salt, apple cider vinegar, and a little bit of water. And this is what I got. I don't have a name for it yet. I love the color. Color's great. I love the little flecks of stuff in there. There's like pepper. There's like seeds from the peppers itself and from the Scotch bonnet. I really do like that. And dude, not for nothing, it tastes amazing. I'm going to show you a little bit of it right now. It's not the hottest. It's certainly not as hot as like say Golden Fire, And I'd say it's probably about the same heat amount as Fuck You Worm, but the flavor profile is amazing, and I have yet to put it on a taco. I've just been putting it on just regular. Look at that. See that color right there? Look at it. It's kind of like brownish orange. Dude. You know when you make a stew or you make a sauce and it's always better the next day? Always. Dude, I made this three days ago. The bottle's almost gone. I got another bottle upstairs. Dude, I can just destroy this whole bottle tonight if I wanted to. This is really, really, really good. There you go. See? I'm gonna definitely try this on chicken tacos, like shredded chicken tacos, and I want to have it on Spanish rice. That'll be the last one. There's a couple of changes I want to do to this particular batch, and I always keep very meticulous notes of what I actually put in every single one. And I'm going to try it a couple more times, and I think this might be the next American Curmudgeon hot sauce flavor. So I'm super, super stoked about that. All right, let's get into it. Let's have. So, what have we learned here? We learned that consistency is very important. If you're going to sell a hot sauce, it's got to be a sauce. Okay? It's got to be pourable. Right? It's not a pudding. Like this ain't like not for nothing, but this ain't a sauce. That's not a sauce. That's a paste. And I ain't selling paste. And my company's not called American Curmudgeon Paste Company. No. So I'm I might even just throw out that batch. We'll see. I'm not married to it. Like I said, the Golden Fire more than takes up like it corners the market on the citrus, tangy, spicy direction that I want to go with my sauces. I think I want to go more towards savory and extremely spicy. So I might even do a ghost pepper sauce. So we'll see. Okay. Let's get a nice. If you've been watching my show for any length of time, you know that my favorite beer is Leinenkugel Summer. And all right. So, and not for nothing, but I know that you're probably sick of. If you've been watching my show for a while, you're probably like, dude, do you have 3 shirts? Do you have 3 hoodies that you wear over and over and over again? Now, I love this hoodie. I love anything with an American flag on it. I like all this stuff. But dude, the reason why I'm rocking the hoodie week after week after week is quite frankly, it is friggin' cold down here. All right. Now, I'm not going to move my operations. I love my office. I love this whole area. Over here, I have 5,000 CDs. I got Cream Magazine in back of me. I got pictures of my dad over there. It's just, I feel very comfortable down here, except for the temperature is very, very cold. So, excuse me. I know this is kind of gay, but I'm going to also rock. He's a maniac, maniac, and it shows. My Flashdance 1983 fingerless gloves. Yeah. And I danced all night to never dance before. Okay. I'm a maniac, maniac, and it shows. All right. So let's get a little bit of hit. TC Malloy says, I need a mild sauce. I'm Caucasian. Well, you know what? We're going to change that because once I'm up and running, you better order Fuck You Worm because I think it's just mild enough that you will enjoy it. It's very tangy with lime in it, perfect for a taco. Now, if you say you don't eat tacos, All right. Well, what about, the most middle of the road Caucasian tacos, which is, of course, a crunchy taco? You got to put some sauce on that too. Mm. Okay, let's see. We are going to do it kind of civilized this week, and I'm actually going to check off every single thing I talk about with a stroke of a pen. So, yeah. See, we just crossed off everything from the very first page. This is a 3-page. So now I'm going to tell you about what's happening in the world of American Curmudgeon hot sauce because that's my number one thing. That's why I renamed the channel American Curmudgeon Hot Sauce. That's why I don't talk about politics anymore. I leave that stuff for my other channels. If you want to see any of my political stuff, you can go over and find me on BitChute. You can find me over on Rumble. I haven't been doing anything for a few weeks, so some of the stuff I'm talking about might be kind of old now, but I probably will start doing some more content on either one of those channels. I personally think that TC Malloy goes, I ate tacos. I ate maggots. So what do you do, sir? I eat tacos. All right, calm down. Listen, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to eat a taco. But yeah, Rumble leaves a little bit to be desired because I think it's all bots on that particular platform. BitChute's not bad, but it doesn't really get a whole lot of traffic. I used to do a lot better on BitChute. Doesn't matter on here and also my website. It's going to be all about the hot sauce, which is my number one thing that I'm concerned about in my life. So what's happening here is that it's one thing to sell some stuff to your friends and your family. Keep it on the hush hush, right? It's quite another to do the farmers market and get them in stores because you have to be licensed to sell. In Michigan, at least, there is different cottage laws. I think you can sell hot sauce and canned goods like in the South, as long as it's like under like sales of $20,000 or something like that. There's different laws to different regions. Our regions is pretty strict when it comes to acidified foods. That's certain foods that have or should have acid in it. And you have to have it to be shelf stable so people don't get botulism. Now the problem is that you gotta get your stuff looked at by the FDA, and they gotta literally come down and watch you do your whole process. And in my case, that would be, chopping up all the peppers, getting all my spices together, and then literally chopping it up, cooking the sauce, blending the sauce, putting it in my my filler because I literally have a filler with a crank on it and everything, and put it into each of these, and it's got to be anywhere from 180 degrees to 220. And therein lies the problem, is because once you put it in the filler, you run the risk of the sauce cooling down. So you got to be on it. So you have to have like a temperature probe thermometer, and then so I've already got that part down. Oh, and by the way, you can't do it at home. That's illegal. You have to rent yourself, or if you're really lucky, find yourself a commercial kitchen, like say one in a church. Okay. Now the problem is I don't go to church. My wife, however, goes to church religiously. No pun intended. So unfortunately, the church she goes to, they have a kitchen, but it's not commercially licensed, and it has to be licensed as a commercial kitchen. So then you have to rent. Well, guess what? You got to basically sign a contract with a commercial kitchen, is what I'm starting to find out. And a lot of them want like $300 a month. Well, okay, so you're like, well, you can't afford $300 a month. I can, sort of, kind of, not really. Because if you have to sign a whole year, that's a lot of money, dude. You know? So you just want to make sure that you have a business, or you're just going to be, it's going to be just sucking all the money out of your wallet. And, at the moment, I'm kind of like money poor, you know what I'm saying? Kind of little cash poor. So I'm kind of taking it out of my savings, and I've been lucky enough to sell enough hot sauce in the past and enough other things to where I have like a fund. I have a chunk of money, but that money's going away. Okay. So, and now that I'm not making any sales because it's not technically legal right now. So I'm in that middle stage where I got to make shit happen because it is already the 7th of, um, it's the 7th of fucking March. And technically the season starts around May for farmers markets around here in Michigan. Well, I've already been kind of told it can take anywhere from 2 to 6 months, sometimes even a year. Dude, I don't know. I don't have 6 months. Let's get this going. So I contacted a person that they are known as a process authority, and they are the ones that gets the whole ball rolling. And you submit your recipe and your ingredients to them, and they look it over. And that's when I found out I had to get an food acidified food certificate before I can even go any further. So and they said, oh, by the way, this is where I teach classes. The person I talked to is from MSU, Michigan State University, here in Lansing, Michigan, which is about an hour and a half away from where I live. Now, the certificate that I have to get costs $550. All right. So I took that out of my fucking savings. And then the book, that costs $125. Well, how come you don't get it from Amazon? I looked on Amazon. The cheapest you can get this particular book on Amazon is $330. But from their seller, you can get it $125. So I was forced to buy it from them. Here lies the rub. I bought it like oh, by the way, I just did my classes 2 days ago. So I aced it, but I don't get the certificate until next week. So I got to kind of wait for a few days for that. Here's the thing. The book did not even show up on my doorstep until my last day of class. So guess what I had to do? I had to get a download Kindle version from Amazon for how much? $125. So I'm already $250 in the whole, plus shipping of the first book, which is another $20. So it's $150, $125, $150 for the first book, $125 for the Kindle rather. So $550. You get where I'm going? I'm painfully close, not to mention gas to drive out there. And I had to wake up at 5:30 in the morning. This was all last week. This is all this week, by the way. My first class was Monday that we just had. This whole week felt like 2 weeks. So I was like, no, this was last week. No, this was this week. So I had to wake up at 5:30 in the morning to get down there because I did not want to be late for the class. Dude, I have not been anywhere near a college since 1999. It's been a while, okay? I'm not a school kind of orientated guy. I did not like school when I was in school. I did not like high school. I thought it was lame. I coasted so hard. Like I think school is gay. School is actually in England.
England is a fag country.
That's right. That's where school is. All school is in England and in Lansing, Michigan. I think school is a waste of time. I think that unless you're becoming a doctor or a lawyer or a plumber, basically, if it's not trade school or you're not learning to be a surgeon, what are you doing? Why are you in school? It is, first of all, having a degree does not guarantee that you're going to get a job. Okay. It doesn't guarantee anything. And people who go to school, I think what happens is they get so caught up into like I'm going to school. I'm spending time on here. You get these people that are like lifelong students. They don't enter they're always trying to work on their degree. You're 47 years old, dude. What are you doing? Oh, I'm finishing up my associate's blah blah blah. Okay, when are you going to get a job? Well, when I start wrapping it up. It's because when I was at MSU just these couple of days ago, I found myself walking around the grounds. It's beautiful. There's bike lanes and there's perfect landscaping and the halls, and there's a lot of history, and there's statues, and the trees are gorgeous. Like, it's just, I think you're just in this bubble. I'm in school, and of course, I think there's also a lot of like, the culture is very politically correct, of course. And I think people feel kind of like safe. It's a safe space. I think if you had all the money in the world and someone else is paying for it, maybe it would be kind of fun to go to school. But I find it to be, I can't sit still that long, man. I don't learn anything from someone, because I had the Kindle version of the book on my laptop. So I brought the laptop. Oh, and by the way, two people in the class, there's probably like 12 people in the whole class, right? And it went from 8 o'clock in the morning to 2:30 in the afternoon. Then I got to drive home. Funny, it only took an hour and a half to get there, but it took 2.5 hours to get home. Interesting how that works. So, um, when I was there, so I'm like kind of looking around, and dude, it really was a Noah's Ark situation. I mean, it was like most of the people, there's some people that were a little bit older. I'd say I was probably one of the older people in the class, but there was no entrepreneurs there. I was the only person that was doing it as like my own company. I was the only entrepreneur there. There were three Amish people, and I don't see Amish people that often. So whenever I see them, I'm always like, dude, this is the movie Kingpin. Like, I always feel like I'm like Roy Munson. But those people weren't even around the next day. So I was the lone entrepreneur, and everybody else worked for like Campbell Soup, Nestle, uh, something else. I can't remember, some other big company. So they're all just doing it for their huge corporations or their huge companies that they're working for. They're salary people. They probably didn't have to pay no $550 for a certification. They didn't have to pay it out coming out of their pocket. They probably didn't have to pay. If in the email for me to have this course, it said, oh, and we also have a group rate if you want to get a hotel room every night for $99 a night. Well, at the time, I thought I was going to have to do 4 days of schooling. It turned out I only needed 2. Okay. Well, that would have been $400. Well, no. Look, even if I filled up my car for every single one of those days, it would cost me less, and at least I could sleep in my own bed. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't going to do that, but these people probably did, and they probably didn't have to pay for any of it. So I don't know. To say that I had a bit of a chip on my shoulder while I was there would be kind of truthful. But I digress. After I got through the exams, doing them online, and they were open book. So it's like the idea that you're not going to ace these exams. Well, and also the window of passing is very large. 70%. 70% of your answers should be correct, and you'll pass. Dude, and also unlimited time. So it wasn't a timed exam either. And unlimited chances. So you could take it over and over and over again. Well, I just did them over again until I got 100%, because I made sure I wrote down every single question I did. And I wrote down, so when it came back and told me the ones I didn't get right, and because they do it, they said, you didn't get question number 15 right, you didn't get question number 2. That's okay. I just wrote down all the ones that were perfect. That way I didn't have to like rethink about it. I just went like, dude, no one bullshits better than a bullshitter. Okay, just calm down. I was fine. I aced those motherfuckers. Okay, I'm getting my certificate. And then also the second day, I left like a whole hour early because the dude kept talking and went almost into our lunch, and it pissed me off so much that I had to leave. And then I ate some food and I got a little gurgle in my tummy, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to sit here and like have to feel like I got to fart the entire time. That's not going to be good. And those stupid classes are so quiet. You can hear a pin drop. Not good. Not good. So what are we learning right now? We're learning that if you want to do anything in this, you know, this industry, you got to jump through a lot of hoops, and you gotta make your way through the speed bumps of, and I just see it as it's a challenge. They're weeding out the weak. Well, I ain't weak, Jack. I'm getting this license, and I will be legal, and we are doing this. So there you go. So I'm sorry, but like I said, I can see why people become career students. Like that's their whole calling in life, but that ain't real life, Jack. That is not real life. So I will prevail. Okay, on to the next thing. Oh, you know what? I got here a claw. I got here a beer. Let's make ourselves a cocktail. The first cocktail of the evening, and then I'll do another first in just a second. Mm. I went to I went to Costco, and as you can see, my travel bar right here. Dude, this thing is like this so substantial. It's like a gallon, a gallon of vodka. It's just hilarious. It's like wham, you throw that right there. There you go, buddy. A gallon of vodka. Kirkland brand vodka. I'm heard through the grapevine years ago that Kirkland brand is the same company that supplies the vodka for Grey Goose, and I think it's like Three Olives or something like that. Like the upper shelf brand of vodka is just one brand of vodka. It's Kirkland. Now, that's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not. So, but the price is right. You know me, if you've been watching my channel for a while, that I'm really into Sobieski vodka because it's 11.99. I think it tops out at 12.99 for a fifth. Okay. And it was that way all throughout COVID, the whole nine. It's recession proof, it's COVID proof, it's 80 proof. And actually this one is, yep, 80 proof. A gallon. We're not talking a fifth, we're talking a gallon. Okay. $14.99. Doesn't that just tickle your taint? It's just think. Speaking tickling taint, I have here the most manliest of all ice buckets. There you go, pink. And I like to fill it up with a little bit of ice before I start the show. Actually, I don't think this is a very good ice bucket to tell you the truth, because last time I went live, it all melted pretty quickly and it's already starting to show signs of condensation. So this time we are going to do vodka and a little bit of Meyer brand pineapple orange and make ourselves a nice fruity cocktail. Yeah. Go, 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 go. Now, my problem is I kind of had a little bit of food before I started the show, which was not the smartest thing in the world. Not a lot of food, but enough to be like, I don't know about you, but I don't really like to mix drinking with eating. Like, there's a lot of people out there, their whole thing is like, dude, it's got to be pizza and beer. Or they go to like Hooters, and they have like chicken wings and Bud Light or whatever. A pitcher of beer, dude. Let's get some chicken wings. Woo! And the only time I really honestly like to mix booze with food is like if I'm eating like pasta and I have like red wine. That's really the only time. Other times than that, dude, it is two separate categories of living. One is you're eating to fill your belly, and the other is you're trying to get effed up. Okay. And I mean, yeah, you can be civilized, you can be grown up and have yourself a little beer or have a little wine. I personally think my thing is when you drink beer, especially with pizza or something that expands in your belly, all that dough is, dude, it's just a caloric smash in the face, you know? And I don't want to get full that easily. Especially like you're tailgating with yeah, like I would ever tailgate. You know how much I love sports, huh? But let's just say I don't know. You're at a barbecue, and actually that's stupid too. You don't eat pizza at a barbecue, moron. You're at a party, and they order pizza and beer, you know, and it's just like by the time like you're gonna at least have four pieces. If you're like me, you can you can destroy a small pizza, no problem. No problem. I mean, maybe you might have a problem deep dish, but like regular round thin crust, I will I'm not trying not to swear as much as I used to before. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. My brother told me that uh when I do the new shows lately, if I just tone down my swearing, that it actually it's a better show. Okay. And so I'm just trying to sort of like taper my my cuss words down a little bit. But I really have to tell you how I feel with the proper wordage, which is I will fuck up a pizza so hard. Like there's two things that I will just absolutely destroy with my face hole, and that is pizza and pasta. I will fuck them up so bad. I would absolutely be able to eat small, medium, large. Now, if you're pounding beers, dude, you're gonna be like, you're done. You're done. You know? And that's when if you want to catch a buzz, or if you want to be drinking later, you gotta do shots. You know, it cuts through all that food, you know. So again, I'm gonna keep asking, what have we learned here? We learned keep it to a dull roar. If you're going to drink, drink. If you're going to eat, eat. But the two don't really honestly mesh. Not really. I mean, people say that they do, but no, they don't. So I wish I wouldn't have eaten. And it was just chicken broth. It was homemade chicken broth. Because that's another thing about Costco that I really like. And I personally don't give two shits about going to Costco at all. The people there are gross. I don't like I don't know. I'm not into it, you know. But the price of gas is cheaper. So I went there on the weekend and it's a madhouse, but I went there the other day about 2 in the afternoon, got right in there and was able to fill up immediately. And I'd say right now, at least around here in southern Michigan in the metro Detroit area, average price is about $2.60. That's not bad. That's not bad, especially since some of these places some of these places are doing 290, 310, 320. No, 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 no. But then again, I would have never paid for a Costco membership. My wife did. So as long as she's paying for it, I don't fucking care. Okay. So I went there. But the one thing that I'm really obsessed with is making homemade chicken broth. There's nothing like it. I think it is the elixir. It is literally it's liquid gold. I mean, look, my golden fire, this is liquid gold. My golden fire hot sauce is liquid gold, but homemade rotisserie chicken. You get the rotisserie chicken. You get it fresh, preferably about 4 in the afternoon. Definitely no later than 5 or 6, because then it's going to be overcooked. Okay. You get it home. You you tear off the drumsticks because the dark meat is better than the white meat. Sorry, that's legs and thighs. Drumsticks and thighs are better than the breasts. And I'm a breast man. My personal life and what I see women as, I like curves, I like booty, I like boobies. That's what I'm into. When it comes to a bird, I like the dark meat. Okay. When it comes to women, I like the white meat, but that's a whole other thing. And so I've tried different birds at different places. Even tried at Meyer over an 8 Mile. And dude, if some places are charging $9, $10, $11 for a bird, come on, man. And then you get it home. We got it from this place called Westbourne not that long ago. It was dried out, dude. The whole idea of getting a rotisserie chicken and that it's juicy. That's why you rip off the drumsticks as soon as you get it home. You eat that immediately. And then maybe you go in to get some of the wings. But when it comes to all the rest of it, that's when you get a little Tupperware, and you tear off all the big the breast meat and everything, and you just ransack it. And then you take the carcass along with carrots, onion, celery, no peppers and nothing like that, bay leaf or 2, salt and pepper, and you put it in there, you fill it up probably about an inch over the bird in a stock pot. You put the thing over it, you bring it up to a boil, then you bring it down, you simmer that. How long do you simmer that? At least 3 hours, at least. And you do it semi-covered, so it starts to reduce. Dude, it's like when they call for, like, if you cook, they always say, like, you got to add chicken stock. Yeah, you can buy the chicken stock. If you're worried about the sodium, you can get low sodium chicken stock. But dude, the proof is in the pudding. Homemade chicken stock is the bomb. It is so good. And if you're like me, let's say you eat those first 2 chicken, the drumsticks. You don't throw them away. You throw the bones in the stock pot. Okay. Any leftover skin, you throw that in there. The collagen, you put all that scum over the top. It's not scum. It's good. It's good for your bones. It's good for your skin. My wife's in skincare, so she knows what the hell I'm talking about. So BJ in the yeah, 100%. The thing is that, like, I'm committed to trying to cook as much things homemade as I possibly can. And I've been known to reverse engineer so many things. If I eat something, dude, I did Vietnamese pho, whatever. I love how they spell it pho. It's pho. That's how they say it. The only reason why I know this is because I watch YouTube videos and they show a bunch of Vietnamese people and they go, "It is pho." Okay, well then pho can make it for me. Okay. So I go on YouTube and I start looking at all these different recipes to make pho. Well, pho, the broth alone, you have to simmer that for like literally 10 to 12 hours. Be patient, grasshopper. I got you covered. I own an Instant Pot. That's right. We got it for a gift about 5 years ago. And my wife is not interested at all. I'm a male chauvinist pig. Okay. My wife has no problem with it whatsoever. She would love to be living in the 1950s. She is my wife is the anti-feminist. Why in the hell do you think she married me? Right? You're like, what kind of woman would marry you? I'll tell you exactly who the hell married me. My wife married me. Like she would wear an apron. and like walk around the house. Does she cook? No. And this is, and see, I'm different than say like Al Bundy, and I'll be talking about Al Bundy later. Uh, Al Bundy was always trying to get pegged to cook because God forbid if Al Bundy could do anything by himself. He couldn't do the dishes. He didn't want to do his own laundry. He didn't want to do anything. The only thing Al Bundy knew how to do was uh, pick a nose, and he one time installed his own bathroom, his private bathroom, right next to his car. The old Dodge Dart. But other than that, he could never eat correctly because Peg would never cook. Homie don't play that. Yeah. I don't I'm no. I'm not cut from that cloth. I make my own food. There's two things that I'm extremely, extremely chauvinistic about. One, cooking. Number two, driving. No, I don't. No. You're a woman, shove over. I'm driving. Now, if I'm too drunk, you can totally drive. I mean, I don't know how many of you have ever like gotten in an Uber sober. Have you ever taken an Uber sober? Dude, it is so unnatural and not cool and scary. You get me out of a party, I'm hammered. An Uber is amazing. Okay? And that's kind of how I feel about my wife driving. And, as far as like cooking, it's not that she sucks at cooking. It's just that I'm just better. I'm just better at it. Sorry. So what are you going to do? You're going to get the person who's not as good as the guy who's the best? You want the best. Okay. So basically, I'm the kind of person that if I eat something, I'm always like, how do we do this? So I looked up the recipes to do pho and cut it down to from the 12 to 10, about 10 hours of it's like oxtail. Oxtail is expensive. I don't know who sent out this memo a few years ago and was like, hey, all these asshole white people are starting to make this Asian Vietnamese dish. Why don't we crank up? Let's take this garbage meat, this tail meat, and we'll sell it for $10 a pound. Yeah, let's do that. Come on, guys. Come on, man. Come on, man. So that really sucks. So I don't know if it's the most economical thing to make pho, but it's really cool. You put it in the Instant Pot for 2 hours, and dude, you got awesome broth, but you have to get all the rice noodles, you have to get the special meatballs and all the accoutrements from an Asian market. And at least with us here in the Metro Detroit area, in Madison Heights, which is another sort of suburb of Royal Oak, you got Detroit, okay? Then you got Ferndale, you got Oak Park, you got Royal Oak, you got Warren, you got Sterling Heights, you got Madison Heights, you got Troy, you got Birmingham, and then you get farther and farther out, and then you're where Kid Rock lives in Clarkston. It's like, then you got Birmingham, then you got West Bloomfield. Well, guess what? There's more rich people out there. Jews. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, so, but I live in Ferndale. I'm literally hiss away from Detroit. I'm like a sneeze away from Detroit. But Ferndale is so liberal that you'd never know it because it's like, I don't know. Like I said, you want to see my political content? Find me over at Rumble and BitChute, and we'll take you down that whole road. But when it comes to this channel is just about CDs, DVDs, media, and food and cooking. So there you go. But yeah. So Madison Heights has a lot of Asian community. Sterling Heights is where you find all the Arabic food and Middle Eastern food. So Madison Heights, you have all these Asian markets, and you find good stuff. But yeah, it's a cultural shock. Those markets smell really bad. So my wife is not into it at all. She doesn't even like shrimp. Like she's religious. today's Lent. And she's like, I want to find out if there's any fish over at Westbourne Market. And I'm like, well, it's too bad you don't like shrimp, because I can make us a stir fry, or I can make you shrimp scampi, or I could make you blah, 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 blah. No, she wants a fish sandwich. Like she didn't even entertain it. She didn't even entertain my little idea. I'm like, you should try shrimp. She's like, no, I'm going to get a fish sandwich. Like, my wife's interest in fish, I mean, she likes salmon now, because of course I make it. She likes not halibut, what the hell? Whitefish, Michigan whitefish, because I make it. I make it on the grill and stuff like that. She was not into fish at all when we first started going out. Not at all. She reminded me of when I was younger. My idea of fish was square and orange. Are we talking about Trump's balls? No, we're talking about filet of fish from McDonald's, which, by the way, still rocks. I had one not that long ago. It wasn't a 10. It was probably about a 7.5 in my rating system. But dude, you go there during rush hour and you tell them to make it fresh. The buns are pillowy and they're steamed. Dude, oh, and they're sweet, sugary tasting tartar sauce. Dude, I might have to get one tomorrow if I keep talking like this. There's one thing that I'm severely having a craving for lately, and it is KFC. That's right, Kentucky Fried Chicken. I want some Kentucky Fried Chicken all up in here, and I just made a bird. You know what I'm saying? So you know damn well I got all this amazing rotisserie chicken in like a Tupperware in my fridge right now, right at this moment. That's perfect for tacos, perfect for a stir fry, perfect for like just munching away and heating up, putting in some hot sauce. No, I want the 11 herbs and spices. I want the Colonel's own KFC. And there's one right over on 8 Mile, right down the street. There's also a Popeyes over on 9 Mile. 9 Mile and Greenfield. I still haven't gotten the I've never eaten a quarter pounder in my life. Never. My jam is the Big Mac. Specifically for McDonald's, my jam is the double hamburger with extra onions. That's my jam. But I love a Big Mac. I love animals. Stupid. And but some people are like, dude, don't even screw with a Big Mac. The patties are tiny. You get way more bread. It's just not economical. It's not good. You get the quarter pounder. And then people are like, no, dude, you get the double quarter pounder. Now, I posted a video on this channel of me eating a double Big Mac. That means 4 patties. And dude, I've seen people posting videos of them eating a double quarter pounder with deluxe. So you get all the accoutrements on there. And I think bacon too. And I'm like, F me running. I think I'm going to have to go for it. I mean, see, but the thing was, I don't look at McDonald's as a place to get good beef. So I never think to get not a Big Mac. I don't think to get a quarter pounder from there. That's just not what I think. When I think of McDonald's, I'm just like, it's garbage. It's like White Castle. I know it's meat paste, dude. I know it is. I love when people play this game and they're like, man, White Castle's gross. What those belly bombs? Yeah, belly bomb. Your mom's a belly bomb, all right? Look, don't put down White Castle. I know what it is. It's meat flavored like a pudding with dried onions on it and with pillowy buns. Dude, yes, you get that during rush hour and they're gooey and gooey. Fuck you, worm.
Fuck you, worm.
I mean, seriously, I love it. And I also love when people are like, dude, it's going to give you diarrhea. Do you honestly think I'm scared? Motherfucker, I've got 3 drinks going on right now. Okay? I got this. I got this. I got this. You think I'm scared of a belly bomb? Not even a little bit. Okay. Mm. All right. Well, that's gone. Let's see if we can finish up this summer shundo. uh, mm. Okay, we've officially gone an hour. I said it's going to be at least a 2-hour show tonight, so buckle in because I have a whole lot of other things to go over. We've already talked about me getting American Curmudgeon up and legal. The fact that I have now entered a um I've I'm now in school. No, I've completed school, and it's the first time I've been in a school in over 25 years, a quarter century. Okay, and it's gay. School is gay, but hey, any step closer to getting uh my requirements done so I can start selling hot sauce, I'm gonna do because you can't stop the Davies. Fuck you, worm. Okay. Um. All right. So speaking of me making food at home, which I love to do. In fact, my wife just literally sent me a recipe about lentil soup. What are you, Neil from the Young Ones? I want to be talking about that in a second. Let me see what kind of bullshit she just sent me. Lentils. Who the hell eats my lord. Honey, that looks like puke. Lentil soup. I'll make it for you. See how she orders me around? Um yeah, don't settle for bland lentil soup. Seriously, this is Neil from the Young Ones. Look at this shit, dude. Look at this. Eh? Would you eat that? Now, granted, I've never tasted lentil soup, and I don't know if it's spicy, maybe. I mean, I've had chicken curry, which had a bunch of chickpeas in it. And chickpeas are just a really nice way of saying garbanzo. Now, from where I'm from, rather, garbanzos are this, not chickpeas. That ain't a garbanzo. A garbanzo is go 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 go. Okay. Um, but I can make a chicken curry that'll knock your Aunt Connie socks off. And it's extremely spicy because it's got habaneros in it. All right, don't screw with my garbanzos. But she wants lentil soup. Fine, I'll make it. All right. Before we get on to the next segment, let's do a little bit. Okay, here we go. I think we're gonna use up some of this bullshit right here. I used to love the flavored vodka back in the day. This is Seagram's Ruby Red Grapefruit. There you go, grapefruit flavored vodka. I think it's a cop out. Um, yeah, there's so much sugar in this that it gunked up the whole stupid thing. I don't I don't know why anybody would want like grapefruit flavored, huh? All right, I'm game. Salute. Ooh, little kick up the back end there, Binky. Okay. All right. So now we are well into 2025, and it is now March 7th. And what better way to kick off what hopefully will be spring arriving pretty soon? Because, dude, I am about this shit is for the birds. This cold shit. Now, I know earlier it said it was 40 degrees. Dude, the inside of my house is so effing cold. And I'm thinking, okay, here we go, right here. Here in lovely Southern Michigan, and specifically Royal Oak. God damn it, will you please? Let me see if we can do that. Okay, well, you can see it's 34. 34 degrees. How much is it in Cleveland? It's 33 degrees in Cleveland right now, and it's snowing. How much is it in Chicago? 33 degrees. I'm surprised it's not 23 because Chicago is always colder than Detroit. So, but I digress. And what did I tell you? You cannot stop the Davies. Okay. And I have embarked myself on a new journey, and I'm going to start my hot sauce seeds indoors. That's right. We're talking hydroponic shit. We're talking heat mats. We're talking grow lights, the whole nine. But I'm trying not to invest so much money that it's going to break the bank. But I've already got habanero. I've already got jalapeno, as Ricky from Trailer Park Boys would say, and scotch bonnets, and some tomatoes, and some different herbs. But I'm just starting the hot peppers because you're supposed to germinate them. And germinating the seeds takes about 2 weeks. But hot peppers, they need to be in very hot conditions. So therefore, you have to buy heat mats. Now, let's kick it off with, of course, the very first. This is big, gentlemen. From now on, every time I do Sauce Talk, I'm going to be doing the Garden Report. This is the first one for 2025.
This is my garden report. You're gonna plant some food in your garden now. Don't be caught with your pants down, brother, with no food. Yeah!
Okay, now what is this? Slurpee. Is that the name of my my little brown friend that comes out of my butt? No. This is a company that makes things for you to grow indoors and whatnot. And this is a pop out and reusable seed starting kit. So this is a tray with 36 cells. Okay. So I've got not one, but I've got two of these bad lads. So I ordered the first one. My wife bought me like about a year ago. So I'm about a year late for starting this because I was going to start it before. But you know what? There's a lot of steps you gotta do. Just like, it's like everything. If you're not prepared to jump through hoops, I don't know what you're going to do with yourself. I think a lot of life is, they say like 50% of life is just showing up. You're right. You're absolutely right. But also the extra 50, you got to do what you got to do. Okay. And I think it's set up to weed out the weak. I really do. I think a lot of it is people just putting their hands out and going, oh yeah, pay me. Fuck you, pay me. It's just, you got to pay the troll. You got to pay the troll toll, as Charlie would say. But with this is probably not the most cost-effective thing to do for a hot sauce company, but I just think it's good for marketing because people love organic. People love locally grown. That's a big buzzword. Local. What is this? Locally grown. It's locally grown, dude. It couldn't be any more local. It's going to be literally growing in my house and right outside my door. That's as local as it can possibly be. So, between locally grown and, less than 8 ingredients, it's practically health food. No brainer, dude. No brainer. So, the problem is I ordered, they're called heat mats, and then they keep underneath this tray is going to be on top of a heat mat, and the heat mat's supposed to be basically 80 to 90 degrees. They highly suggest that you have these heat mats attached to a thermostat. Well, here's the deal. I bought all this stuff the other day from Amazon, and then there was a problem with the heat mats. So I got that seedling tray that I just showed you. All right, that showed up. And then I had to get a a full refund for the thermostat and the heat mats. So I ordered what I thought was the one heat mat with a thermostat. Just the thermostat showed up. This is just the guy, right? I had to reorder the heat mats today, so I won't get them tomorrow. Now, is it the worst thing in the world? No. I'm just getting impatient. I want to start my seeds. Okay. And so what you're supposed to do with them is you're supposed to soak them. So they've been soaking for 4 days. Usually they're like, soak it overnight. Dude, they've been soaking for 4 days. Am I ruining them? I don't think so. Because you take them out and then you put them in a damp paper towel. Then you put that paper towel into a sock. Then you put that sock into like a freezer bag, like a Ziploc bag, and you put that on top of a heat mat. And then you let that sit for like 2 weeks. And then you open it up. And if you see these little seeds and this little guy, this little jerk's going, then it's germinated. And then you can put that germinated seed into here with soil and you let that shit stick around probably for a couple months until it starts to grow. And then you put them outside. And I guess because I've never done this before in my life. The only reason why I'm able to tell you as much as I've just told you is because I watch a F ton of YouTube videos. I mean, that's literally what I do all day. I'm just on YouTube. So they say that you got to wait for the nighttime temperature to be at least 60 degrees at night. Right. So, which I'm into. I mean, I cannot wait. So I'm going to start this indoors. So I'm going to be giving you definitely the blow by blow on my YouTube and also the posts and my Instagram and my TikTok. Because I'm going to be just as interested in watching this shit go down as anybody else would. I mean, if you're into it, if you're not into it, you're not into it. I mean, I am, just because it's like, I look at it like this. Any way to F over the man, I'm into it. So the other thing I bought, not this knife, is some grow lights. And I also watched this one YouTube video that said, don't buy grow lights. Like, don't look for the word grow light. You're looking for the word lumen and you're looking for Kelvin. As long as it's like 2000 lumen and like 6500 Kelvin or something like that, you're good. And that's your grow light. And you'll be saving money if you don't. All right, I'm going to chop my fucking finger off if I'm not careful. I thought I'd be all thematic and open this up on camera in front of y'all, but it would be just my luck that I would probably take a digit off. And I got this big old knife. Shit, I think I was like 18. So I'm going to sharpen this in the future, and then I'll have a brand new knife. But I have another knife. Let's see. Yes. All right. Okay, right there. Okay, there we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay. This up. Okay. I'll keep this around because when I start shipping out more hot sauce, this is perfect for at least one bottle, maybe even two. Okay. Yeah, here we go. 2600 lumens. Is that what it looks like? 5000 K. That's Kelvin. This is what I want. Yeah, here you go. This is it. Do you see the word grow light on here at all? No, you don't. So I got some, I've got some clamps. So I've already got a place down here all eked out for my amazing growing portion where I will be germinating my seeds. And dude, these suckers are all going to be going into sauces. And I think it's going to help out my marketing. Like I said, people love locally grown. Dude, it can't get any more local. Like this is local. Okay. So, mm. So I'm pretty stoked. I should be getting the heat mats tomorrow. And I'll keep you up to date with my germination. Let's have a little something, a little, because I'm starting to feel a nice little tingle in my butt right now. Oh, and by the way, tell me right now what this movie is. There's only one correct answer, and it ain't Star Wars. Let's see. Okay, we'll take the little thing. We'll go. There we go. Same. Been keeping all this up to date. This is one of the best and most productive. We only have 2 subjects, but we can really roll this out because I have done some major time shopping. I don't know if you've been keeping up on my shorts that I've been posting on my YouTube channel. You should really, really try to make yourself available for those because they're all fire. And so this week, my favorite used CD store, what happens is on Facebook, they'll post something and like it's just a homing beacon, like they'll be like, this is what we're putting out today, and it'll be a whole list of all the things that they're doing, that they're putting out. And I'm like, dude, and I've literally called them up, went, do me a favor, set that out. That's how I got Young Ones on DVD, because I called them up. I go, set aside Young Ones, set aside blah, 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 set aside that, blah. I'll be up in an hour because it's not that far from where I live. And they're happy to do it. And I always get a good deal. Always. Sometimes just unbelievably good deal. But every now and then, I spend more than $20 in there. And this is one of those times. Just this past, what was it? Was it Tuesday? I'm trying to think. It was only a couple days ago. I'm going to tell you in just one moment for my decentralized media segment, my big metal used CD haul. First, this. All right, let's get down to it. Decentralization starts now. Decentralization. Decentralize your life. Okay, dude, I could not have been any more excited because here's the deal with me. I'm a former metalhead. I have been into heavy metal. I would arguably say, given my age, I think I've first heard the term heavy metal in 1979. And no, it wasn't from the song, Born to Be Wild by Steppenwolf. Heavy metal thunder. No, it wasn't from that at all. You know where it really was from? It was from Cream Magazine. Cream Magazine, I'd say around 1979, 1980, 1979, they put out an issue said, "Is heavy metal dead?" And on the front cover was, of course, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, Heart, Ted Nugent, Van Halen. A lot of the people that they said were heavy metal that laughably are just not even close to being heavy metal. Or there was parts of what they did that were kind of metal, I mean, there's no doubt that heavy metal was in part invented by the band Black Sabbath. Okay. But they didn't call it heavy metal when I was growing up. In fact, when I was growing up, it was called acid rock. That's literally what they called it. They didn't say stoner rock. They didn't say doom metal. They just said acid rock, or I'm trying to think if there was maybe another word for it. But heavy metal wasn't in the vernacular I would probably say when Iron Maiden came out, they started on the back of their records of writing like, we want to thank all the metal maniacs out there and the earth dogs and the rivet heads. And I'm like, what's an earth dog? What's a rivet head? You know? And by this time I had already read the thing with Cream Magazine, but the bands themselves, like no band would ever call themselves heavy metal. It just was not done. Judas Priest started doing that later, and that wasn't until the 80s. The only band that actually sort of embraced the word heavy metal, other than Iron Maiden, was Quiet Riot when they put out the album Metal Health. Bang your head, metal health will drive you mad. You know, or, you know, Headbangers. You know, what's a headbanger? Which is funny because it's like the Ramones said, you know, Susie is a headbanger, you know. So the word headbanger was used in like punk rock world, but it did not enter the vernacular of like the mainstream media until I would probably say at least 1981, at least. And it wasn't really honestly like when people said, what kind of music do you like? Heavy metal. What? When you say heavy metal or people wearing metal type clothes or you went to the mall, a lot of it's really like, did it play at the mall? Did you see it at the mall? Because that would have been like kind of my teenage years was the 1980s. So it would have been at the mall because I hung out at the fucking mall. I wasn't hanging out in bars. I was 14 years old. I was going to the mall. Where the hell do you meet chicks? So, and that's when you started seeing girls with their like totally like teased up aquanet hair, and maybe some of them would wear like, you know, like a tight shirt with like some sort of leopard print or whatever. God forbid if you saw a chick wearing like a spiked wristband, dude, that is it. And of course MTV. Of course MTV. But what I'm talking about is next level, is when you started getting into subgenres of metal. So then you've got heavy metal, then you've got thrash metal, you got speed metal, you've got death metal, you got black metal, Norwegian black metal, Scandinavian black metal. You know what I'm saying? It's like then you've got genres and subgenres and subcategories and blah 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 blah. Well, it's all metal. No. To a metal fan, it isn't. To me, it is because I kind of don't really care. I kind of cherry pick what I like. I'm not the kind of person that likes one thing. I like all sorts of, like I said, here, I'll do it right now. Watch this. What do you see right next to me? What does that look like? What does that look like? That is 5,000 CDs, my friend. And I'm not even joking. I'm not exaggerating. That's 5,000 CDs, give or take a few hundred. Okay. I know what I'm talking about. And I've told you before, I am like a wealth, an overflowing dumpster fire bowl of useless information. So, you know, when I say stuff like, you know, when I talk about heavy metal, it's like I don't really see bands as much as I used to. Not at all, actually. I don't give a shit about seeing bands at all. But I like to. The best way to describe where I'm at right now in my life is, I think everything that was good has been done. I think every good type of music, I think it's all been done. And you almost have to, like, if you've got the money, if you've got the inclination, if you've got the interest, you can go back and start to rediscover things that you slept on or that you didn't like. In my case, I'm starting to buy things, when people say guilty pleasure, I like a guilty pleasure. My guilty pleasure would be like, okay, I own a lot of Stone Temple Pilots records. Do I like the Stone Temple Pilots? No. No, I don't like the Stone Temple Pilots, but I like at least 5 of their songs. Well, I'm going to show you in my stack of metal at least 3 things that I'm like, dude, I didn't even like this back in the day. I knew about it, but I didn't like it. And now I bought it. And now I'm kind of into it because like, I don't want to spend my time uh getting into new bands when there's all this fire that's just ripe to be rediscovered from the last 40 years. And yes, the last 40 years. Like, I'm not even joking. I mean, well, 40 years ago is 1985, okay, which is insane. Um, some of these things that I have my and that I bought is damn near 50 years ago, which is that's like that's craziness. It's absolute craziness, But then again, we live in a world where A. Van Halen croaked and David Lee Roth is 70 years old. Sorry, everybody. I have to take my heart meds. I have to take my blood thinners. Okay? I take 4. Mm. What kind of person takes heart meds with beer? This guy. Um, and I'm telling you, man, I'm on a road to ruin. Not to name check the Ramones twice. Okay, let's get into it. You're probably like, dude, you're just waffling on. I know. I love this. I love this show. I said it's going to be at least a 2-hour show. I might even go 2.5 hours. Because I'm just now starting to feel really good. Okay, let's get into it. Because I've got a story for almost everything. And that's why when I showed you the very last, the very last subjects on my show notes, it doesn't look like much, but I can stretch this out. The first one, first of all, I got 1, 2, 3. I got 9. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7? That's it? I thought I had like 9. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. Oh, 8. Okay, so there's 8. So this is it. This is what we're looking at. And I also bought one more, but one of them I got for free. I spent $55 the other day, which is a personal best. So the first one is Judas Priest, Hell Bent for Leather. I love how it's got that little best value sticker on there, right? And this one is $5.95. Here's the deal. This is what no one tells you about when they talk about heavy metal or used CDs. No one gets rid of metal. It just does not happen. When you go to a used CD store, when you go to any kind of like vintage store or retro store or whatever, and if they've got CDs, you'll never see early punk rock. You'll never see the Misfits. It will not happen. You will not see early death metal. You won't see Voivod. You won't see Venom. There's just certain bands that they don't exist in the used world because no one gets rid of them. The people that are into heavy metal, they're very, very dedicated. So I think there's a ceiling to how much some of these bands will sell. As far as these bands are never going to become like super, super mainstream and popular. And the people that are into this kind of music are very dedicated, feverishly loyal, and when they buy the records, they want like all the variants. They want like if a band puts out like, you know, different color vinyl or like I don't know if it's really a thing now, but about 10 years ago, a lot of these metal record labels were putting out limited edition cassettes, which is hilarious. I mean, like, look, I like cassettes too, but I don't really like, I'm not interested in buying new cassettes. Like, not at all. Like, I got to, right here. There's a cassette player right here. Okay. Uh, my whole thing is that, like, they just don't sound that good. I mean, I've got some uh, mixtapes from as far back as 1982, 1983, right? That I made when I was in ninth grade, when I was in Don Darrow High School, and they sound good. They sound fine. All the all the things that people were saying to us that these things would deteriorate over time. They're so wrong. I've got computers. God damn, dude. Look, I know that I repeat myself. I know I do. Um, I've got computers from 2011. I got 3 of them. They're MacBooks. Apple is considered one of the best companies on the planet. I think they're monolithic thieves. I think they're uh, I think they're snake oil salesmen. I think they are wretchedly corrupt. And the fact that when you buy something from Apple, it's baked into their business model that it'll be damn near obsolete in 5 years. I find that like that is, I don't know why people put up with it. I just don't get it. It's like wearing good tennis shoes, good sneakers or whatever on a New York subway, and you should be okay with being mugged. Why do you accept that you don't own what you own? It's literally why I started this whole decentralization thing. It's literally why I like to cook my own food. I like to make my own food. One of these days I might learn how to change a spark plug. I think the answer to life is to try to be as independent as you possibly can be, self-sufficient and proud of it, and to try to get yourself off the cloud as much as you possibly can, because the cloud is a lie. It's an absolute lie. But so you own something. I got VHS. Perfect example is right here. This this cassette right here, VHS. It's got young ones, right? It's from 1986. See how it says? See how it says Festival 1986 on there? Yeah. All right. I remember. I didn't even tape this. My friend at the time taped it. It's not. Notice it's not my. It's not my handwriting. That ain't my. That's not my handwriting. Okay. But I remember when he taped this, and this thing plays perfectly, fucking perfectly. Give me a break. There's files. I tried to open GarageBand from Apple on a different on a newer Apple that was, I think, High Sierra or it was a different operating system, and it said you don't have the permission to open up this file. It's my computer. What do you mean? You know what? So the whole thing's obsolete. So the whole thing was a lie. All right, forget it. All right, I'm just gonna have one more. I'm just I'm angry thinking about it. The lie that, like, I feel like Chop Top right now. But I feel very good about what I bought, and I'm going to continue showing you. Okay. All right. Let's clear out the sinuses, shall we? So, this is from 1978. This is Judas Priest, Hellbent for Leather. We know Rob Halford is gay. Is the guy on the cover gay? I don't know. But he's got cool glasses. And these songs, Delivering the Goods, Rock Forever, Hellbent for Leather, Taking on the World, Burning Up, The Green Menalishi with the two-pronged crown. I never owned this, and I've been a fan of Judas Priest since 1982. And I've been trying to buy up a lot of their stuff. The problem is that their older stuff, some of the songs are pretty good, but I find the production just isn't that great. I mean, that's the thing. I don't think that this record is as good as British Steel, and I don't think British Steel is as good as Screaming for Vengeance. I think for Judas Priest, I personally think the sweet spot is British Steel, Screaming for Vengeance, some of fuck. What the hell is that record called? The one with the In the Dead of Night, Love Bites, Defenders of the Faith. Defenders of the Faith. I think those three records, and then after that, things got a little dicey with the Painkiller record, or Turbo actually, which is so funny because I ended up buying Turbo a couple years ago, and I kind of dug a lot of that record. Okay, so next up is Voivod. And before I just gave you my whole speech, how much does this one cost? You're gonna flip your wig, dude. You're gonna get angry at me. $7.95. You know, I've been sitting there bragging about I bought all these records for $1 here, $2.95, $3.95. I get the best deals. Now, when it comes to metal, there's a cachet there, and if you want it, you got to pay for it. It's still better than the way it used to be because I'm old enough to remember when this was $16.95. Okay, now albeit it was 1992, but hey, can you imagine paying $16.95 for this now? Hell, no way would you. Nobody would. I personally think that if you're selling brand new DVD or brand new CDs, they should be $10. That's what they should be. Not $9.99, not $10.99, just $10. $10. And then extra for shipping. But the reason why I was happy to get this is because there's a song called Clouds in My House. We got the clouds in my house. There we are, my door. There's a whole thing about Voivod. I'm not even going to get into it. Voivod is a band with a big, big story around them. Another band that's been around a long time, some of you might have heard of them, is a little band called Metallica. This is 72. So funny, when I first saw it, I didn't know what this meant. I didn't get that this, let's see, 72. 72. It's called 72 Seasons. Packaging is pretty crazy. When you open it up, I kind of don't even really want to open it up, but as you can see, you got James Hetfield looking older than my dad. Laura's looking real hit. You know, they really went out of their way to, yeah. I think it's pretty cool. I just, it's kind of like, is anybody going to play this goddamn thing? I will. I'll play it. So there's a song called Lux Eterna, and it reminds me of sort of like the Kill 'Em All days a little bit. And I saw it on YouTube. It's good. It's kind of jarring seeing them so old. And look, I gotta look at myself every single day too. Okay. Um, but it's just weird to see because like I've been a fan of Metallica's ever since. To be completely honest with you, it wasn't until like Ride the Lightning and I knew about Kill 'Em All and I saw them. It wasn't my thing. I was still sort of into. I was really in Iron Maiden, really into progressive metal. I was into loudness or rowdness if you're Asian. Um, I like some glam. I liked guitar players. So like let's say I like Rat. I wasn't really into Rat. I just really liked Warren DeMartini because he was like, from the Eddie Van Halen school of playing. And Eddie Van Halen was like my idol, everything about him. But you know, the sort of like anti-fashion, anti everything Metallica thing. When I saw the picture of them on the back of Kill 'Em All, I just went, ugh, I know guys like that on the burnout side of Tondero High School. Like I don't even like those guys, you know. Why the fuck would I want to buy a record that has those guys on the back of it? Well, because one day they're going to look like this. So, I don't know. Okay, next up is Ministry. Rio Grande Blood. Okay. This one came out, I want to say like 2005. So this is 20 years ago, which is crazy. If you know anything about Ministry, is they started off as a synth sort of like in dance band, and then they became like the precursors, the um, industrial metal, the precursors to that because they went from Land of Rape and Honey to A Mind is a Terrible Thing to Taste. Dude, just get into Ministry from 1988 to 1992. And that's really all you need. But around this time, they became really speed metal. It was really, really fast, really speed metal. Great guitar sound. Well, you want to know why? Because the guitar player was Mike Scatia, I think is how you say the last name. Rest in peace. He's dead now. From the band Rigor Mortis, another thrash metal band. Okay, so now we're going into grindcore. I got Carcass, Heartwork. This is a very weird record because it came out on the legendary English label Earache. As you can see, the logo Earache. Okay. And this was the record where they got signed by Columbia, which I think I tried to find the Columbia logo on here. I think they might have gotten the rights back from Columbia. Earache had a distribution deal with Columbia Records, which would have been huge, except for all the bands they put out were all extremely uncommercial, at least here in America. This was 1993. This is from 1993. Okay, which is, I was 25 years old that year. So this is another, when I told you that a lot of my taste now is buying up stuff that I either slept on or that I wasn't interested in. This is one of those things where I knew the band, but I didn't care about them because they were total grindcore. And then this was like grindcore meets Iron Maiden, which is weird. It's a very weird record. It's very good. Don't get me wrong, but this is again, and this is $6.95. So this is me buying up stuff that I kind of didn't care about the first time. Okay. Now you want to talk about a band. Now we're going to wrap it up a little bit because now we're going on 2 hours. And I think I'll just wrap it up in 15 minutes. You want to talk about a band that I did not give a shit about except for one song, Rip Ride, and another song called Black Metal. This is a band that was extremely notorious to the point where a record label by Thurston Moore of the band Sonic Youth put out a single that is just Kronos, the lead singer and bass player of this band, just his in-between song banter of going, And then the Beastie Boys sampled that later. But this, again, useless information. This, of course, is a little known band called Venom, At War with Satan. Dude, here's the deal. When I was younger, like, they were trying to find bands that had satanic messages. And when I say when I was a kid, I mean, like, uh, it really ramped up when I was like in ninth and 10th grade. You had the PMRC. You had all these like parent organizations looking for backwards messages. It was so stupid. The band Iron Maiden, which were already on a major label, they're already huge, put out a record called The Number of the Beast. Like, what more do you want? It's like, where's those bands? We're going to find bands that make records and songs about rape. We're going to find some bands that kind of talk about rape. And then over here, this band goes, we're going to name our album Rape. You know what I'm saying? And this is kind of the same thing. It's like, they're just like right there on Front Street, at war with Satan, an upside down cross, the whole thing. It's great. Looks like a Bible. Huh? Dude, one of the songs is called Arr. Dude, I thought Venom were garbage. And I guess the last laugh is on me or them or whatever, because I got this for $9.95. But I guess if like, okay, if you're a collector, it's got all this extra bonus shit right here. Okay. Can we fucking at least At War with Satan TV adverts? Warhead 12. There you go. Lady Lust 7 inches, 7 gates of hell, 7 inches of hell, 7 inches of hell. If I have sex with you twice, it would be 7 inches of hell. All right, we're gonna wrap this whole show up. It's so fucking funny. I didn't even get around to Al Bundy. All right, these last two. Fuck it. We'll go for 2.5 hours. For whatever. I don't give a shit. So this very last band, I bought 2 records by, and my whole thing is that how in the hell I'm 56 years old, which is already crazy. That after all these decades, I'm going to say all these years, no, all these decades, dude, because we're talking 3. When I first heard Sticky Whistleteeth, stand up, lad. After all these years, I'm now a fan of the band Cannibal Corpse. I mean, what? I don't, and a lot of it had to do with this DVD documentary. And I'm the kind of person where I'll watch a documentary about a goddamn fig leaf, I'll watch a documentary about nothing and be like, ooh, look at that fig leaf, So I tend to like hate watch a lot of shit. And so I've watched that documentary. An old friend of mine showed it to me, and he burned it on a DVD-R. This is when 20 years ago. Okay, I've watched it over and over again through the years. So I think about 7 years ago, I found the exact documentary, but I found it like, not burned or whatever. The problem with like the DVD-Rs is sometimes they don't work in different players and all that shit. So when I found the actual thing, and plus I had another DVD on here of a bunch of concert footage, I'm like, fuck it, I'll just buy it. It's $19.99 or whatever. It's from the same place that I keep talking about, my favorite used CD store. So I just ended up watching it over and over and over again because everybody in that band, Cannibal Corpse, is the same age I am, around the same age. And so they're talking about, yeah, we started getting into we got into Van Halen, then we started getting into Iron Maiden, then we started getting into this and blah blah blah, and everything was like ramping up and ramping up. And I was like, this is exactly how my journey through heavy music was the same thing. As I started with like Kiss. Everybody in that band loved Kiss. Same thing with me. It was Kiss, then it was, Van Halen or whatever, then it was Iron Maiden, then it was blah, 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 and then next thing you know, Metallica, Slayer. Then in my case, it's grindcore, Anal Cunt, and then Japanese noise music and all this other bullshit. And then I was also into rap and all this stuff all at the same time. All at the same time. And Cannibal Corpse I knew about, but I just thought they were just cheesy. I just thought they were just. It was too cheesy. It was like, all right, your name is Cannibal Corpse. For some reason, it did not click with me. I don't know why. I don't know why Napalm Death was cool and Cannibal Corpse wasn't cool. I don't know why I made that distinction in my head. But years and years later, I started seeing some of their shit in my store, and I'm like, fuck it, you know what? I'm gonna buy one of their goddamn records and see what it's like. And dude, it's a challenging listen, but the production is amazing. The guitar sounds are off the fucking chain, and I mean, you got to give it up to them. There's a lot of bands you're like, okay, so I like this, but their other record, I don't really like it that much because they veered off of their course or whatever. Dude, Cannibal Corpse is like, oh, you like death metal? We're gonna make death metal every single goddamn record we put out. We're just gonna do death metal, sort of like the Ramones for most of their career, sort of like Slayer. Sort of like AC/DC. You stick with one sound. You might deviate a little bit, but not really. One sound, and that's what Cannibal Corpse is like. And so I just started getting all their stupid records. I got this record. It's just simply called Kill. And I got this other one, Gore Obsessed. But really what it comes down to is, like Iron Maiden, they had this one artist do all their covers, and they were almost always really gory and offensive. I don't really give a shit about it now at my age, but dude, not for nothing, but if I was 13 years old and I saw this back in the day, it would have been absolutely my favorite thing in the world. Like I don't really care about it, but I think it's just funny. It's like, dude, what are we looking at right there? You know what I'm saying? So, and with this particular record, which I got for $9.95, that's like paying $100 for a steak. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I don't have a problem with it is because you got this. You got the CD, and then you got the DVD, which I watched the other night. Dude, you're gonna call me the biggest fag when I tell you this. I have a treadmill down in my basement. So, because I don't lift weights, I don't exercise in that way. In order to get my exercise, I walk. So if I'm not walking outside, I walk indoors. So we have a treadmill down here, and the best way for me to really enjoy doing it is I just either listen to music or I play something on the TV. So I got this TV behind me, and I was playing the Wretched Spawn documentary, and it was fucking awesome. It was awesome. So I really enjoyed it. So then I got this one, Evisceration Plague. And, they don't look happy. They look like they're having a hard time. As my mom would say, he looks like he's having a hard time. They look like they're having a hard time. So I got this one for $8.95. And again, what are we looking at here? CDs. And we've got another documentary DVD. Dude, that's amazing. So I listened to this one, and I can't even read this stupid. Like, you got to give it up for this. You got to give it up for death metal band. Death metal, to me, is like, it's the ultimate fuck you. It's the ultimate fuck you worm. Yeah, like they don't. And it's, as I get older, I appreciate it more and more and more, especially in a world where we are, everybody's expected to politically take a side, and God forbid if you have your own views about anything, and if you hold steadfast to anything, there's a problem with that. I find it very, very appealing and refreshing. Fuck, let's play that again. I don't give a shit. I find it very refreshing when things are just what the hell they are. There's no explanation. There's no like, is there a hidden meaning? No, we are about killing. Oh, so not killing. Okay, all right. But I mean, is there a killing? Okay. It's like, no, we write songs about killing. That's it. That's it. Get out of my way. Get out of, we are going to fuck your shit up. Because I cannot tell you how many comedians that I don't like anymore, bands that I hate now because of, everybody's a fag. Sorry, everybody's from England.
England is a fag country.
Yeah, everybody's from England. What can I tell you? So, and I just really like it when things are just whoosh, without the maniac finger gloves, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, so let's get to the very, very last segment. And it is my renewed love for two shows that I loved back in the 80s. I thought I loved them back then. Dude, I really love them now. And one is The Young Ones. This show is absolutely perfect, unstoppable. It's like when I finally figured out that Stanley Kubrick's 2001 is the best movie ever made. That's it. Like, no, I'm not going to hear it. I don't want to argue. I don't care about your opinion. I don't want to know anything about your dumb reasoning. It's the greatest movie ever made, and that's it. That's it. I can watch that movie on a fucking iPhone. I can watch it on an IMAX, which I never have, but I would. But that movie is, from beginning to end, absolutely perfect. I think The Young Ones is a perfect TV show. Why do I think this? Because it only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, 1, 2, 3. 12. 12 episodes. That's it. That is it. Wrapped it up in 12. You had special features. This particular It's got 3, count them, 3. And I got this thing for $9.95. I feel pretty good about it. I also judge things by when I buy them, do I play them? It's like, some people when the whole vinyl craze, I think is gay and I think it's disingenuous. I think these people are not buying it for the music. I don't know what you're doing with your life. I think it's the dumbest thing in the world. It's a slab of vinyl. It's stupid. I'm not into vinyl at all. I don't like records. I think they're dumb. Well, the sound of it. No, no. Dude, I'm 56, okay? I've listened to things on vinyl and I've listened to things on CD. CD's better and it's portable and it stores better and it's smaller and you get all the packaging. Like no, I've lived through it. I don't care. And I will argue with you and I will win. So shut up. That's why I'm into DVDs and I'm into CDs and I'm not into vinyl because vinyl is overpriced and overrated and it's a scam. It's stupid. DVDs are better because you get all the extra stuff and you got commentaries and it will last forever. And all these assholes who said that like DVDs, the backing will flake off. No, it won't. No. Mm-mm. CDs have been around since I was 13 years old. I'm 56. I can play a CD right now and it plays perfect. Perfect. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't. A MacBook from 10 years ago doesn't even work. These people are liars. Don't listen to any of them. None of them. So. Which brings me to my latest and greatest, of course. Married with Children with my personal idol, Mr. Al Bundy. Now, is it because he's known for winning, 4 touchdowns in one game? Is it because he knows how to knock out everybody in a store with just taking off one of his shoes? Is it because he's been married to a total vapid whore for almost 20 years and he has 2 brat kids and a stupid, useless dog? And he's the sole breadwinner? No. It's the fact that he can actually fund that whole stupid clan of morons on a shoe salesman's salary, which is not even a salary. I will bet you 5 whole American dollars that he probably made $30,000 a year in 1989 money. And he was able to have a house, a Dodge Dart, 2 toilets, one of them a Ferguson, okay? Listen to that flush, whoosh. And be accosted by his lame, stupid, gay, pre-woke, like they were woke before woke was even thought of, which is, of course, Stephen Marcy, right? Was he a loser? I think he's a true American curmudgeon. A man who was a real man. The interesting thing is the guy who played him, Ed O'Neill. He was on a podcast recently, about a year ago. I can't remember who it was. And like he was like kind of that dude. He was on the football team, and also like he was saying how like he was a lot of people would ask him to like fight for them. You know what I'm saying? Okay, he was a bully, and I think he was proud to be one. And he was like going, yeah, people would ask me to fight, and I'd be like, all right, I'll fight. And I'm like, dude, I love that. I fucking love that. Like unapologetically, just, yeah, fuck off. I was a fucking bully. I don't care. Then I grew up to be Al Bundy. And then I was on another show called Modern Family, where my character dated Sophia, the fuck's her last name? Vigaro, that hot big titted broad who, like Charo, can't speak like a fucking American. So I've been trying to get the old Married with Children. Now, I've been taping a Married with Children. Did I just say I've been taping a Married? I've been taping a Married with Children. I've been taping Married with Children off of the TV since 1988. That was when I was just 19 years old. Just a little nad. And I have down here all the tapes, all of them. Because I've never gotten rid of any of my VHS tapes. Never. Never. So imagine my surprise. Because when you watch Married with Children, the telltale sign that you're getting ready to watch an episode of Married with Children is that fountain outside, and it goes, whoop, and it goes, love and marriage go together like a horse and carriage. If and never, can't remember the words now. All right, let's get serious. I'm going to show you something. All right. Let's dip our tootsies in Lake Chinnequana. I don't know what that is. All right. So, this, my friends, is the complete third season. Okay? I have season 1 and I have season 3 and season 4. Okay? I did not see season 2. Mind you, this is from a used CD store. So when you see something, you buy it. If they don't got it, yeah, you can go on Amazon, but I love the thrill of the hunt. Okay? First of all, you see, includes the infamous lost episode. So you're like, my God, this is amazing. I might see something I've never seen before. I think that's how they hook you in, because this is how they kick you in the nuggets. You see on the back right there where it says includes opening theme song? Well, when I heard the theme song, that's what my face felt like right there when I heard this new opening theme song. On the third and fourth DVDs, apparently the company, I don't know if it was Sony, but it was someone big, decided that they didn't want to pay the Frank Sinatra estate the licensing fees. Because make no mistake, you have to pay for these things. They decided, no, we're not going to do that. So guess what? They recorded a generic, like MIDI sounding. Dude, it's awful. It's the worst thing in the world. Dude, I've seen pictures of the Holocaust. Last week, I saw a puppy get drowned, and it wasn't as bad as... It's really bad. You watch it, it's the same video. They didn't touch the video or anything. But you hear... Like, I'm not even joking. I'm not... You want to know something? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do you a salad. This is a big deal. I'm going to take you on a little trip. It's called Why John Davies is Awesome. Okay. All right. This is what I'm going to do. Let me play this. And you are going to, like, in 1 second, you're going to go, oh my God, I totally agree. Okay. Everything is real on this show, people. Everything is real. Okay, let's pop this sucker in here. Turn on. See? Usually this thing isn't turned on right there. Okay. And what I'll do, let me see. All right, let me take off Jimmy Page. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to play it right now. Check this out. All right, where the hell is that? Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm going to play it. Turn this shit. Okay, warning. Yes, 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 yes. Oh my God. Oh my God. What's worse? Okay, here we go. Is that awful or what? Dude, that is disgusting. I swear to God. All right, all right, all right, all right. Okay, 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 okay. All right. Now, here's the deal, Shmuel. If you're a musician like I am, failed musician, I'll give you that, but a musician nonetheless. Here, let me just turn this down. I'll have this on the background anyways because it's just good video. There we go. Okay. Now, if you know anything about recording music, there's a thing called MIDI. MIDI is when you can have recording equipment and keyboards and drum machines and sound modules talk to each other. There's a name for it, and I'm kind of blanking on what MIDI. It's like it's like mechanical interface digital blah blah blah. It's a standardized language that music equipment uses and has been since the very early 80s. Let me see. MIDI. Wait. Not MADI. MIDI. Definition. Here we go. No, and not MIDI. Here, Carrie. All right. Because it still exists now. Okay, here we go. MIDI. Musical Instrument Digital Interface. Okay? It's controllers that connect a wide variety of electronic musical instruments, computers, and related audio devices for playing, editing, and recording music. Okay. Right? Never steer you wrong. I'm not a liar. That, my friends, what we just heard was classic MIDI. Like you can just tell the horns are not real horns. Like we're not talking about artificial intelligence, AI. Like that's even crazier. Like the world where we're all going to be souped into very soon is going to be satanic and disgustingly crazy. But this is from the 80s and it still is around now. So I could tell as I was listening to that, I was like, well, this is clearly not real drums. It's not real horns. It's not real anything. They just came up with this shitty MIDI replacement for Frank Sinatra. Love and marriage, go together like a horse and carriage. I tell you, brother, you can't get one without the other. And then it goes, love and marriage, and it goes clunk. And it's just a great theme. Whoever got that theme to be on Married with Children is a fucking genius. But then they had to screw it up with that MIDI garbage, and it just throws you all off. Now, here is where your humble narrator will win and has won. It's because I finally figured out how to watch this thing, because when I was watching it months ago, I was like, dude, this sucks so bad. I hate this. How can I watch this with this shit, this new theme? Well, you click this button right here. It goes to the next chapter. You go boom. As soon as that little fountain goes up, you go boom, and it takes you right to the first scene of the show. And then right when the show ends, it goes into the reprise of that garbage theme, and then I can just go and hit it again and hit it again. So as long as you're not sitting there, like being a lump on a log, and I don't know, were you smoking some pot? I don't know. But I choose to not put up with this bullshit. And I can tell you this much. I've really enjoyed watching all of the Married with Children's, at least with season 3. Okay. Now, I'm about halfway through this. And I'm actually finding episodes I've never seen before, which is crazy because I was such a fan of that show that I'm like, did I miss any of those? Stinky Whizzle Teats, the itty bitty mitty committee. Flitty, flitty, flitty. I also have Married with Children season 4 upstairs. Dude, I am happy because I don't know about you, but I have a Roku TV and a Roku remote control and all that shit. And my number one thing is to watch YouTube. It's my number one thing. I live on YouTube. And when you watch YouTube on your phone or on your laptop, generally they'll make you sit through like, I don't know, a 7-minute commercial, and then they'll give you the little skip button right there. That's unless you pay for the premium, which, by the way, I think I'm about 7 minutes of like I want to fucking pay. I was paying for it before. See, I've been off work for about 4 months now. So I've been kind of living on savings. And so I cut out some of my extravagant things, and one of them was paying for YouTube Premium. But I tell you, man, when you pay for it and you don't get those ads, it's pretty awesome. But then again, if you buy physical media and you have stuff like this or movies and shit, because here's another thing. That's only YouTube. We also pay for Netflix and Amazon Prime. And what do those two corporations start to do? That's right. Now they're hammer fisting all their ads, and it doesn't matter if you paid for it. In fact, that's part of their business plan. You paid for their content. Now they get to butt wipe you with all this garbage ads, sometimes in the very middle of the movie. Now, what did I tell you? I love 2001 Space Odyssey. It's my favorite movie. You're trying to tell me they're not going to like throw an ad right in the middle of that movie? It's 3 hours, man. There is a intermission. Gay. We're being treated horribly You don't own anything, and it sucks. So I'll leave you with this. I got 10 more minutes. 2 things I want to talk about. One, my balls. Shaved them. They're very smooth now. Number 2, the movie Blade Runner. Now, Blade Runner is one of those movies where people love it. There's been the regular version, the director's cut, and then from what I gather, the director's cut, and all this other crap. And, and people still trying to figure out, what does it all mean? What does it all mean? Was Harrison Ford's character a replicant? Was he himself I'm sorry, I'm looking for a goddamned here we go. This is called a napkin. All right. Harrison Ford's character, which, by the way, it's so funny. I was talking to my wife this morning, and I'm like, I go, I've been trying to watch Blade Runner, and I don't know if it's because of my age, but I really only see Harrison Ford as 2 people. Like, I know he's a good actor and everything, and I've seen him in other things. I have. But he's really just Han Solo and Indiana Jones. Like, when I see him on, like, if I see him on talk shows or anything like that, like on YouTube or whatever, now he's just this old codger. He's like, like he's pathetic. It's old, whatever. It'll happen to all of us. It happened to me. But like, the 37-year-old Harrison Ford, dude, you're Han Solo, man. You're Han Solo and you're Indiana Jones. So like, I got this for $1. Okay. It says it's the director's cut of the original futuristic adventure. Okay. And everybody talks about what great special effects it has and how poignant it is and how it's like, well, it's like we're kind of, they're trying to figure out a way to connect it. Now, this movie came out, I believe, in 1982. I'm pretty sure I was in 9th grade at Don Darrow High School. And the point I'm trying to make right now is I've tried to watch Blade Runner at least 10 times. At least. Dude, that fucking movie sucks. It is.
This is a waste of time!
Dude, that movie blows. All right. Speaking of Al Bundy, my younger, bigger brother, Mr. Al Davis, is in the chat. Harrison for his Regarding Henry. I've never even seen that movie. But I tell you this, when I see that face, it's Han Solo, dude. It's fucking Han Solo. Like, I'm sorry. And by the way, like, are you ageist? Yeah, I'm ageist. Yeah. Like, I saw Force Awakens. First of all, that movie sucked. It was a total reboot, trying to be. And can we just crunch the numbers here? There's no way Han Solo would ever be an old curmudgeon. Look, I plan on being an old curmudgeon. I am an old curmudgeon, but I plan on being an older curmudgeon. But he was like old in Force Awakens, and like he had a kid, and it was just with Carrie. The whole thing was just stupid. And I'm like, dude, he would have left the Ewoks in Revenge of the Jedi. First of all, he would have never been sitting there when the Revenge of the Jedi were all going, all the Ewoks are going, doing their stupid little dance at the end. Han Solo would have went, fuck this, dude. I'm out of here. Like, even the princess is lame. I'm gone. And if he was 30, 4 years old at the time, his character wouldn't have made it to 40. No. Yeah, they say Chewbacca, he's a Wookiee. They tend to live about 200 years old. You would have made it to 105. No, you would have been vaporized. Give me a break. One bad drug dealer. Because let's be honest here. Han Solo was a drug dealer. They're like, oh, he won the Kessel Run in less than 10 parsecs. He was a drug dealer, okay? That's what he was. And drug dealers don't last. Okay? Unless you're Eazy-E, and then you get banged in the ass and you die of AIDS. But that's a whole other thing. Get him out of here.
Get him out of here! He's got AIDS!
But I digress. Let's have a toast for the 40-year-old Han Solo that should have been this entire time. Al Davis says he bonked his head and became retarded in that movie. Didn't need to act much. Are you talking about Han Solo when he was in Force? Are you talking about regarding Henry? I don't know anything about that movie. Is it like something where like he's like a vegetable and like a woman is cheating on him or something like that? I don't know. I mean, he was in a movie called Working Girl in like 1987 with Melanie Griffith and Alec Baldwin and stuff. Yes. Yes. What are you doing out there? Are you having a good time out there? Yes. Can you imagine? But yeah, I can't do Blade Runner, man. It is boring. It's boring. I don't get it. And the special effects are so good. What did I just say? What did I literally just say to you? 2001 Space Odyssey is the greatest movie ever made. Kind of goes with the special effects. It was filmed in 1966, dumb fucks. Came out in 1968. And then 1 month later, my mom opened up her legs and I came out. But, it's overrated. It's an overrated thing. The best thing he did was American Graffiti. I kind of agree with you. American Graffiti was awesome. Now, are you saying George Lucas was his? Now, are you saying that Harrison Ford's best thing was American Graffiti, or was it George Lucas? Because it can go either way. Sneaky Wuzzle T says, "Hi, Al."
Get him out of here!
Okay. So, yeah, Blade Runner, it doesn't live up to any kind of a hype. I mean, look, I'm getting into like slasher movies all over again. What I'm doing is I'm regressing as a human being. I'm getting into death metal. I'm getting into like, Married with Children. I'm like rediscovering it all over again. Slasher movies. I bought all of the Child's Play movies. They're stupid. They're dumb. I bought all the Halloween movie, or not Halloween, Freddy Krueger movies. I bought all the Freddy Krueger movies. They're stupid as shit. But all the effects are all practical effects. They have no CGI. There's none. So you might go, they clearly look stupid. I don't care. I don't care, dude. I will take the cantina scene from the original Star Wars, and we're not saying New Hope. It's Star Wars. Shut up. No, it's not episode 4 or whatever. It isn't. It just isn't. I will take the cantina scene with all the stupid Muppets in there over anything from Phantom Menace any day of the week. I don't give a shit. CGI is garbage. It's garbage. It's garbage. Okay? Yeah, I'm living a midlife crisis. I don't even know if it's a crisis. I think I actually had more of a crisis about 10 years ago. What I'm now doing, it's not, you know what? It's not a crisis, and I'm going to tell you why. I think I was freaking out more like 10 years ago. There's something about surviving a stroke that the crisis part goes away, and you're just like, you know what? I just want to make chicken broth and watch the young ones. Like, it's no crisis. I mean, how do you explain this? Is this a crisis? No, it's comfort food. This is literally me sticking my hand into a nice boy's asshole. It's like I don't want to put up with garbage anymore. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you know what? Not even joking. I think Al is actually living the midlife crisis more than I am, to tell you the truth. like dude, I've already like accepted a lot of horrible shit about myself. I'm just like, what are you gonna do? Stinky Wizzle teeth. Um, by the way, speaking of stinky Wizzle teats, dude, not for nothing, but I have been indulging myself in Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy, the first John K shit was way better than the later stuff. Way better. And I kind of thought that, like, you know, there was a raw deal. The people that stayed behind to like work on that show, and Bob Camp was probably pretty good. No, dude, no. Ren and Stimpy was, I think, we're around for 4 years. There's a reason why me and my friends were only into it for the first year. There's a reason. There's a reason why. There's a reason. Because that's when the quality was good. So it's on Paramount Plus, and my wife pays for it. I don't know why, but whatever. So I started watching it, and dude, I started to tap out like after, like, I think season 3 came around, and I know I'm digging for gold over here. I'm sorry, but um Al Davis goes, I'm too gray to be young, too young to be gray. Should take the R out of that.
This is a waste of time!
Shut up. All right. I think I'm going to indulge in, I think we're going to go. This is going to be a 3-hour a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. I don't care. I love it. I'm loving. Finally, it's starting to feel better down here. Dude, it's been so goddamn cold in this basement where I'm sitting here. I got a heater right next to me, right? Usually if I touch my drink, it's like it's colder than God's balls, but whatever. Actually, you know what? Everything melted in there. So man. All right, let me show you something that I'm going to indulge. I think both Stinky, maybe Al Davis would remember this, but check this out. That's right. It's Mr. Professor. God, yeah, it's little Professor. Okay. He looks like a hipster. He's got the white. So I found this. Actually, my wife found it. I kind of remember it. Wasn't it to teach you your times tables and stuff? which I suck really bad at math. I can barely add anything. So the problem is that it takes a 9-volt battery in the back, and we don't have any in the house. So I'm going to be exploring this, and we're going to do this together probably next week on more sauce talk, because we have to get set and go. I want to find Simon. Beep, boop, boop. I want to find, dude, there's so many things from the 70s and 80s. I love all that shit. I have these headphones that I got to find a 9-volt battery. Look at this. Look at this. Like it's an AM FM radio. Okay? Now you're like, "Why do you have this?" I don't know. I fucking have it. But I got to find a battery for it, cuz I'm going to be walking down the street with it. So I know, get a speak and spell. I'm like, spell neighbor. I'm so old, I just don't give a poo about nothing. You'll get nothing and like it, Lebowski. Actually, that's two different things. You'll get nothing and like it. That's from Caddyshack. Lebowski is Lebowski. Sit on your Johnson. You would? Sit on your Johnson! Or whatever. All right. So, okay, I think the very, very last thing that I think I'm going to talk about is that my phone literally loses a charge in 15 minutes. It's plugged in 97% of the day. It's plugged in. As soon as I take it out, because it's always on YouTube and stuff, maybe it draws off the battery, but I've gone online and I've done every little stupid thing where it says, get rid of anything in the background that's drawing off the battery. And I've done all of it. I am absolutely going to be leaving the world of Apple and iPhones. This is going to be the last iPhone I ever use. I don't know what's waiting for me out there. Apparently, Androids are just as garbage. I think I'm going to have to do the Consumer Reports thing where it really comes down to me, because the only thing, like, for my job, I got to have Google login, right? Texting, of course, whatever. A way to take notes. A camera is nice. Doesn't have to be the best. I don't give a shit. I don't care about apps. I don't care about anything like that. And YouTube. Got to have YouTube. I don't download anything else other than that. But the number one thing is battery life. Battery life is number one, because like it's unacceptable that you're just sitting there. Dude, I've had it to where it will be on 100, right? And I'll be just on, you know what really sucks off the penis of this phone is Facebook. And Facebook's gay. Okay. And I'm on Facebook all the time, which is gay. Facebook drains off the battery so much that I will literally be looking at my phone and it'll go 100, 92, 82, 76, blah, blah, and within 7 minutes, it's down to 51. And dude, not for nothing, but like, this is a brick. That's why they call it that's what when these things like can't work, they say bricked. It's bricked because it's a brick. Like this doesn't mean anything. It's not worth anything if it doesn't have battery life. So the fact that, I like to walk and stuff, when it starts getting nicer out, I can't have it, man. I can't have it. And even what I'm starting to learn is even my iPod, is that's even doing it. And then the weirdest thing is, here's another thing, my fine feathered friends. When you turn it off at 100, which I've done, not only this, but my iPod, when you turn it on again, it's 0. It draws off the battery when it's asleep. Are you fucking kidding me? It didn't used to do. Like, how can this be? How can this be? Isn't that like conspiracy? Hello? Something can tell and then draws when it's off? That's why I keep telling you, the only real honest thing we have is this. This is the only real security. It's the only real honest. What am I doing? I'm showing you ink on paper. This is ink on paper. The moment you don't want anybody to know what you're doing, you take a flame and you burn it and it goes away. The only thing tangible we have in our life is hot sauce. That's it. Cooking. Tangible items. Cars that you can work on. You know? The new cars are, you got to have it, you won't be able to program the computer. Well, if I had a Mustang GT, whoa, I could work on that. You know? And this is from a guy who doesn't even know how to change his own oil. But I know I could fucking learn. Because I ain't no quitter. Okay? I am not a quitter. I could learn how to I could change a spark plug at the tender young pink age of 56 years old. I think I could actually probably learn how to give my Honda 2013 Honda Fit a tune-up. Maybe I'll ask my younger, bigger brother. Maybe he'll show me. You know? My dad did it back in 1999. Screwed my car all up. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. Jesus Christ. Whatever. You know? I know. Get a job, sir. I know. I fucking love it. I think there's something to be said when you get older and you start to learn like really remedial basic things, like how to start a fire, change a tire, but I know how to do that. I mean, I'm not a total loser. I'm not a total faggot. But it's like, you know, there's a lot of things I'm gonna do this year and then next year. I think I might become a real honest to God man probably on my 59th birthday. I think I might almost be 60 years old. You know the fucked up thing, if you think about it, Trump is going to be in office until I'm 60, which is insane. My God, I've known Stinky Whizzleteeth since we were 17 years old. And I was completely useless all those years. So I'm now to the point in my life where I can actually do things. But we're surrounded by idiots. My younger, bigger brother and him and I, we constantly have these conversations and we're like, we're stuck in shit. We're surrounded by idiots. What's the antidote for this sickness? Try to be as self-sufficient as you can possibly be. Try to be independent. You know, I don't know. You're never going to get away from death and taxes. Big. You're not gonna. Find yourself a really good tax person. And as far as death, I don't know. Just pray they got good drugs. You know, that's what I'm going to do. You ever had surgery before? I've had surgery twice. And all you can hope for is they give you great drugs so you don't remember the surgery and you don't suffer too much when you're recuperating from the surgery. There's only two things going for you is during and after. Because before you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. So hopefully while it happens and when you're done, you're not, writhing in pain. Isn't it great how this show is ending? Writhing in pain. And speaking of writhing in pain, I think I'm going to do one more little thing. But Al Bundy, that's my spirit animal. I'll just tell my brother, I'm like going, dude, my wife looked at me the other night. She goes, "You are Al Bundy." I'm like, I know. Oh. But something, so is my fucking dad, so. Salute. Well, I'll leave you with this. Okay. Shit, I didn't even talk about what. Okay, I've got 13 minutes. So what I was going to say was, nothing holds a charge anymore. iPhone is worthless. You can't really honestly save technology from the, say, basically 2000. So I'm just going to say, from the last 25 years, you really can't hot rod modern technology. And when I say modern, I mean 25 years. So from the year 2000, Y2K, till now, you can't really honestly keep it going. But you know what you can? This, my friends, you see this? This, my friends, is a Sony Walkman. Now, it doesn't play cassettes. It just plays FM. It literally has a belt loop. It takes one battery. You get 2 settings on the side. I don't even know if they even mean anything. And you've got one control. That's it. No touch screen. You don't got to screw around with it. It is what it is. It's a Sony Walkman. Now, these are not the original headphones, but they are puffy because I've really grown to hate earbuds. I don't like earbuds. I want. Wait. You're crushing my head. You're crushing my head. I like the puffiness. Ooh. See, this makes so much sense that I've got these on and these gloves. I'm like, we got the beat. Everybody, get up your feet. We got the beat. We know you can dance in the street. Okay. So I got that going. And I figured out that the other night. Now, this MFer right here is not a Sony Walkman at all. It is, however, a cassette player. Look. See? You play cassettes in there. See? Now, it's only got 3, count them, 3 controls. And, of course, a belt loop. It takes 2 A batteries. I think they're double A's. And this is a full stop system. Notice there's no word Sony on there. There we go. See? Full auto stop system. This is made in China for 11 cents back in 1993. So the other day, I put in a cassette by the band The Ghetto Boys in there. And there's a song called My Mind is Playing Tricks on Me. And he goes, my mind is playing tricks on me. Day by day, but what's a being a cove? I mean, and it rhymes with. Anyway. Okay, the point I'm trying to make is that when I was playing it, it went. And I'm like, these are brand new batteries. Why is it playing like this? I don't understand. Guess what this motherfucker did? I went on YouTube and I looked up how to fix a slow Walkman. No. That's a song about a quail. No. I'm going to teach you to be happy. I said it's a cassette player. So it said open up the back. There's only four things here. That's it. And guess what I have? This is why you can't fucking count out John motherfucking Davies. See that, motherfucker? That's right. Anyways, I opened up these little guys, and there is a tiny, tiny little screw hole in there. It is called a motor. So some people in these YouTube videos were hooking it up to some sort of like voltage regulator or whatever the hell, where you see like waves and stuff and you can get it perfect. You know what I just did? I just put on my headphones. I'm like, I'll play with it until it's the right speed. I've heard this song a billion times. I don't need, you know what I'm saying? I don't need to see no wavelengths. I am a wavelength. So I started taking, I took the little screwdriver and it went, woo, and it went, boo, boo, doo, boom, boo, boo, doo, boo, doo, boo, doo, boo, boo, doo, doo, boo, doo, boo, doo, and I was like playing with it, going in. Okay, all right, just yeah. There. Perfect. You can't keep a good John down. Okay. I won. I won that battle, and I'm really, really happy about it. Okay, well, this is perfect. Time to end the show, and thank you, Stinky Whizzle Teats. This is a song about a quail. No, this is a song about being happy. That's right. I will see you later. Good. Bye. Goodbye.